This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
Back with more Financial Straight Talk alongside Jim Fox, Kevin McAlpin here with you. And Jim, we mentioned it before the break. Halloween now right around the corner. You're going to start getting those knocks on the door. And one story I was reading, and you and I already disagreeing on this one right off the bat, was reading an article about candy corn. And boy, this already sparked a little debate between you and me. Not my favorite, but you seem to be a big candy corn fan. Is that right?
Yeah. All right. Think about it. Just once a year, you get to eat a couple handfuls of it. It's pretty. Would I eat it every day? No. But think about it, man. They're candy corns. But don't bring that chocolate candy corn stuff around. Too strange for me. You know what I'm talking about? Like the pumpkins. So
you're just a traditional, regular old.
I'm an 80-year-old dude. That's the way I'm going to do it. All right. Leave. I want my Werthers and I want my candy corn. Okay.
There you go. I bring this over to a conversation we were having earlier about 401ks. An article says that candy corn is actually, believe it or not, the 7th most popular Halloween treat. But a very next survey I read said it was America's most hated candy corn. And so I think maybe they surveyed me and my friends and my neighbors. We were all the ones that were saying it was our most hated. But we can also tie that back into retirement planning. The most popular account we know is the 401k. We all have it. We've all been putting money in there, but we don't really know exactly what's happening with it. 60 million people across the country have a 401k. But in an article on the Motley Fool website, it says popular doesn't always necessarily translate to being the best. Looking at traditional or Roth IRAs could be a better option. What says you, Jim Fox?
Yeah, so let's keep it super real here, like we always do. Look, I'm not a huge fan of the 401k from its inception to today. I'm still not a huge fan of the 401k because I think that it was used. I truly believe this is 100% accurate, but they eliminated pensions for so many companies because they started 401ks. And I really have problems with that because I think pensions are fantastic and there's so many people that would be much better off with a pension, but neither here nor there. Let's leave that alone. Let's focus on the 401k because we're stuck with them now. Why do I tell everybody that walks through the door with a 401k that you got to jump into it? Because of that free money. You got to love that free money, man, that match. If they're giving you a match, why? I don't care if it's the worst 401k in the world, Kevin. If you give them $1 and they put $1 with it, you just got 100% return on your money. It's hard to argue that, right?
Sure.
Now, we want to make sure that we're taking full advantage of their match. Absolutely. But I don't like to go beyond that. I want to then go and transition to either a Roth or a traditional IRA on your own because I think that that's a much better option because it gives you a little bit more control, little better options when it comes to fees. I mean, there's a lot of things about 401ks, to be quite honest with you, I don't like, right? For one thing, nobody knows how much your 401k actually, Kevin, you've had a few 401ks I'm willing to bet in your life, right?
Oh yeah, 2 or 3 probably, yeah.
So how were the fees on those? Do you have any idea? You couldn't even tell me, right?
Wait, there's fees on those?
Exactly. And they are crazy high fees, right? Now, secondly, how hard do these companies that have their investments in 401ks, how hard do they have to work to keep those clients investing money? They don't really have to work. This is just my opinion, by the way. Okay. We got to make our compliance team happy that I'm not getting too crazy here, but here's what I'm thinking, Kevin. Well, you're paying fees. You got investments that some of them are good, but a lot of them are kind of like middle of the road, but they don't really care. You know why? Because next pay period, more money's coming in, and next pay period, more money's coming in. If you had your own IRA somewhere and that maybe mutual fund wasn't performing very well, you're going to take that money out of that mutual fund and go into another one, right? Because that's what we do when we're not happy with something. But 401ks are the Roncos of retirement world, right? Set it and forget it, right? And what was the rotisserie thing? Remember that thing on the infomercials?
Yeah.
So, and it's not bad because I meet so many people who's probably 60, 80% of their wealth comes from their 401k. And so I'm not hating on the 401k because I think it's a great builder of wealth. But there are better options. First and foremost, when you do retire, don't leave it at your 401k. If you go to a new job, roll your 401k, unless there's a great reason not to, roll that 401k into your own IRA. Weigh the pros and the cons. But I am not a huge fan of 401ks because they're hard to understand. They're hard for me to understand, and I have been a financial weenie for 26, almost 27 years. Think about that. It's insane, right? Other problems with the 401ks. They're kind of a pain in the butt if you need to get your money out of it. It really kind of is. Now, I don't know if you've ever done it, Kevin, but me in my younger years, when I did have a 401k, I needed to get some speakers for my truck and a new radio and some rims. And so I took a loan out against my 401k. Not a smart thing to do ever, by the way, guys. Okay. This is 20-year-old Jim. Very important to understand. And then you got to pay yourself. If that money's readily available, I find, Kevin, that you get into it more and more, right? So there's a lot of things I don't like about the 401k. The other thing is you finally retire. You get it, man. You get that golden watch. You get whatever it is that you get when you retire, and you're super excited. How is that 401k going to start paying you? Do you have any idea, Kevin?
I don't.
None, right?
No.
See, it's easy to build money. It's easy to accumulate money because all you got to do is put away, forget about it, and you're pretty much going to get money. I mean, there's nothing really technical about building wealth. The real challenge comes from converting the money that you've saved into that income stream. Remember we talked before about the income bucket? Mm-hmm. Think about this, Kevin. You probably don't have any pensions. Is that a pretty fair statement at 42 years old?
Very fair. Yes, sir.
And your wife, Melissa, probably, unless she's a teacher or something, probably won't have a pension either. Is that a fair statement?
That's 100% accurate.
Now think about it. Just think about that. And most people in this world, they don't have pensions anymore. But if we were to go back, not to your dad, but go back to your grandparents, what did they all seem to have?
They all had pensions. Yeah.
And they lived a different life. Maybe not as much money, but they had that constant money that was coming through the door. We call it on this show mailbox money, right? Now, of course, it doesn't come in the mailbox anymore. It comes directly into your bank account. But it's that money that kind of comes through the door every single month. And you know what? Next month, it'll be there again. 401ks don't do that. Now, Kevin, they passed a law. It's called the Secure Act. Okay, we're going to teach you all these new terms over time here. Okay. But they passed something called the Secure Act in 2019. And when they passed the Secure Act, the government, in their infinite wisdom, because they're here to help us, right? They said, we are going to pass a law that's going to make 401k companies responsible to at least offer people lifetime incomes, i.e. add annuities to 401ks. All right. Now, by the way, no one's figured that part out yet. Okay. But my whole point is 401ks do not provide income very well. They actually can be relatively expensive compared to doing it on your own. So what is the true reason why you want to have a 401k? It's really simple. Simplicity, out of sight, out of mind. We all got to love that, Kevin. I don't know if you're an idiot like me, but boy, when I was young, you put money in my pocket and it was burning a hole in it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the simplicity of it disappearing before I get it, that's great. Number two, incentivizing you to save money by giving you a match. Those are the big keys on a 401k. Now, there's Roth 401ks, there's traditional 401ks, there's all different types of stuff like that. But the end result is that you are going through this whole process with pretty much no knowledge. Think about that, Kevin. You have a 401k. You've had multiple 401ks. How much knowledge did you have based around any of your 401ks?
What's less than none?
Exactly. And here's the thing. I'm not calling you, me, or anybody else stupid because that's the way the system's built. See, the 401k is the Ronco of retirement and it's okay, but you can't live that way your entire life. So if you have a 401k right now, maybe it's an old 401k from another job, maybe you're getting ready to retire, whatever it is, if you have a 401k and you don't truly understand it, it's important to understand that your 401k is a portion of your retirement plan, and we've got to make sure that's in balance with the other ingredients of your 401k. One of the things we tell people as I run to break here is that think of your retirement as a recipe, right? You have pasta, you have tomatoes, you have onions, you have garlic, you have basil, you have salt, you have pepper. But if you don't have a good recipe to put them all together, you're not going to make spaghetti, Kevin. You're going to make a big mess. If you put too much tomatoes and not enough pasta or way too much garlic, it's all about having that recipe. The 401k is just an ingredient.
Jim, have you been talking to Melissa about the mess that I make in the kitchen? Because you just described every meal. I'm like, it's a perfect example. I say, look, you want to do spaghetti and meatballs for the kids tonight? Well, no, you make too much of a mess when you're cooking.
Let's order a pizza.
And I don't
It's so
feel
much
like
easier.
That's it. Let's go out and get some Mexican for dinner tonight. I don't want
love
you
it.
ruining the kitchen again. I just cleaned. Sounds like you've been talking to her.
I love it.
I'll have to look into that a little bit more. GetFST.com. We got about another minute and a half left. Jim, final word. Floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Well, Kevin, I want to welcome you to the Space Coast. You have spent many times at our local stadium here, so you would not recognize Vieira. It has changed dramatically, and a lot of us would tell you that we miss the old cow pastures that were everywhere. So welcome to the Space Coast. When you get down here, we're going to take you to all our favorite spots, and you're going to get a chance to finally meet some of our listeners, which is something that Jerry did for years and years, and it was an absolute blast. So be prepared because they are ruthless when they see you. Okay, I want you to know they're going to ask you plenty of questions. They're probably going to hit you up for some Braves tickets. Just know it's going to happen. Okay, so they're going to be looking at that. But I personally want to thank you for joining the team, and we're really excited to have you. And again, the Space Coast is very fortunate to have some of your caliber aboard. And what they don't know is our editor is also a former Braves guy as well, which is super cool, right? The Murph, isn't that what you were calling him?
Murph.
I mean, how cool is that?
You can Murph or Murph Dog. Each of those works.
Love it. So we have an all-star team, guys. I want to let you know that they're here to get this information out to you. But with all that being said, on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.